Okay, good news. I asked Roger if he wants a literal lot, and he said he's ready to go with the flow, so that's good news for us. Thomas Berdych wasn't letting you go with the flow early in this match, though. He came out red hot, got up the early break, served for the set, had a set point in the first set. How did you turn that around? How did you steal that first set?
Hung around, had to get a bit lucky, a bit angry, a bit frustrated maybe at the umpire, but I actually thought the call was good anyway. And then probably he was right anyway, taking the call away, so it was all good. It was just trying to empty the, just getting a bit frustrated and a bit antsy. But anyway, I'm very happy that I got out of that first set. It ended up being, I think, the key to the match. Like you said, Thomas played great, especially in that first couple of sets. I think in the third he dropped his level a little bit, but I'm extremely happy. It was tough. That first set could have gone either way. He deserved it, actually. So, like you said, I stole that one a little bit.
Yeah, it was theft and not in broad daylight. It was at nighttime. But last year you guys played in the third round, and that's really where it all started for you in this tournament. Your level just hit a new gear. This year you've yet to drop a set in this tournament. How would you compare where you are right now to this time last year?
In a way, I prefer it this way, because I wake up in the morning walking normally, whereas last year I was like, oh my God, my back and my leg and my foot, whatever was hurting. There was a lot of things going on, but it was, the pain's good sometimes. And those five-setters, like against Nishikori or against Stan in the semis, they're so worthwhile. You take them with you for a lifetime, really. But that match against Berdych really showed me I could do it, maybe, and go deep. I didn't think at that point to win the tournament. This year's totally different. My expectations are much different. I've won a couple of slams now last year, whereas last year around, I hadn't won a slam for 4.5 years. I mean, I know how to do it, but I started forgetting about it. So it was nice, that win last year against Thomas, and this year again, of course.
When you come to these Grand Slam tournaments, you've won all of them. You have something that you do. It's a little different than some players. You kind of honor the city that you're playing in. You put the number on your shoe, how many times you won the title. Maybe walk us through what's going on these rather pink tennis shoes that you're wearing.
Yeah, I think it's important to tell. There it is. So I think storytelling is really important in sports, where we come from, what we do, the places we play in. And actually, why do we have the station on there? It's because we're not allowed to put the trophy on there. There you have it.
Did you ask the tournament and they said no?
The trophy was on there once upon a time, but it's all good. The tournament's got to do what they got to do, and it's all good. But I like the station better, or, in Wimbledon we put other stuff on it. The London Eye we had on it, and honestly, it's great. I think the people enjoy it too, and it's maybe better than the trophy, even though Norman's a good friend by now. So
he is a good friend, yeah. Sir Norman Brooks, pretty good friend. So it sounds like you're into the design with your team at Nike for the fashion. I mean, you got this is kind of nice, the zip-up thing here. I mean, how actively involved are you in the fashion, my man?
I'm very happy that you actually like it too. It's important for my sleep tonight. When I close my eyes, I'll think of Jim approved my look, so it's all good. Oh, man. No, so honestly, the designing part is fun. They asked me about if I like this kind of color. I said yes. So if a lot of guys are playing pink, it's maybe because I had something to do with it. But
that's a nice little humble brag.
But I think the other guys said yes too, the likes of Rafa and so forth. But no, honestly, it's the details and the storytelling, and I think we at Nike are so happy, so lucky to change our outfits probably 10 to 12 times a year. So it gives us an opportunity to look different, feel different in different places. So here I thought, let's do an all-white thing again, because we usually only do it at Wimbledon. They forgot about the shoes, but anyway.
Well, it does beg the question, though. We saw your great rival, Rafa, come out in sleeveless once again. When are you going sleeveless? When's that going to happen?
No, that's not going to happen. Because you know why? My arms are not like his arms. It's pretty simple. I do love his look, though. I mean, this is the Rafa I knew when he was coming up, and I remember Nike was giving me those Capri pants to try. Yeah, before he actually wore them, and I remember I put them on in practice. I remember at my home tournament in Basel, which I think you won as well, right? Yeah, and I came out, and all the players like, what are these things, you know? I was like, just testing something, don't worry about it, I will never play in these. This is when I knew, I can't make this work for me. And then I think Moya rocked them, his coach, yeah. And then Rafa after, I thought it was a great look for him with the long hair and all that stuff. So I would love him to also rock the long pants, the Capri pants again, but he said not anymore, so unfortunately not.
I'm going to shift a little serious for a second because we're talking about Rafa, and last night he had a disappointing loss. Marin Cilic played great to beat him, but Rafa wasn't able to finish the match due to injury. But the news is good. Seems like he's only going to be off the tour for about 3 to 4 weeks, not a serious injury. Were you watching, and what were your thoughts about what he was going through last night?
Yeah, we wish him well. It's hard to watch, you know. Someone go out in 5 sets and not being able to finish, you know. At least, you know, if somebody finishes and he loses, all credit to the other guy. Still, I think Marin deserves an amazing amount of credit because he hung around and he fought really, really hard. And I don't think he ever beaten Rafa before, so this was a big, he beat him once, so but still it was a massive win for him. And yeah, and at this point, I wrote Rafa late last night before I went to bed. It's the last thing I did. I was like, okay, I got to write Rafa and see how he's doing. And I hope he was going to be okay with the scan today. And I'm happy that the news is not terrible. But it was not nice to see a fellow rival and friend like this go out. So wish him well.
We all do. Glad to hear it wasn't too bad. Well, there are a couple of new names on the scene here in the semifinals. We've talked about Marin, Kyle Edmund from Great Britain, a youngster. He'll be in there. And your opponent is going to be the South Korean, Young Chung, who's played so well on this tournament. You guys have yet to play each other in competition. Have you watched him play much this tournament? What are your thoughts? Give us a scout.
Yeah, so like you said, I've never played Chung, I've never played Edmund, so it's great to see new names on the scene. I mean, we need it moving forward. I mean, the tennis will always create new names and new stars, but I think the way both of them made it to the semis is highly impressive. Kyle did it the hard way through 5 sets. The heat in the 5-set are there, I think, and that's, you know, also being Grigor, great name. Same for Chung. To beat Novak on this court is particularly difficult, and that's the match I watched the most. Otherwise, I haven't really seen him play that much, to be quite honest, for some reason. I don't know why, where he's been playing and where I've been playing. Well, I don't play so much, so there you have it. That's my bad. But no, he's incredibly impressive in his movement. Reminds me obviously a lot of Novak, the way he's able to slide forehand and backhand and use the hard court as a clay court and get balls back and stay aggressive in defense. So I'm really excited to play against him. He's clearly got nothing to lose. I will tell myself the same, and we'll see what happens.
Well, we're incredibly excited to see you back in the semifinals. Roger Federer is so generous, so talented. He's the man.